So welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on the textured stripes crochet blanket. This is using Caron Simply Baby. You can use Caron Simply Soft as a substitution if you wish. A 6mm size J crochet hook today. On camera I'm going to be using Caron 1 pound with a 5mm size H crochet hook. So there's going to be two different colors. So for 2 rows there's going to be white, 2 rows green, and etc. And then you just go to the length that you need. Now if you want to change the size of this blanket, it's really quite easy. It's multiples of 4 plus 3. So you go 4, 8, 12. Just make sure it's a multiple of 4, and then at the very end you're just going to add 3 extra chains in order to make it work. So you can either chain 103 as it's suggesting, or just chain a multiples of 4 and then add 3. So I'm going to begin today. It's a really quite a simple pattern. The crochet border is 2 rounds of just double crochet. We have a tutorial available on the YouTube channel for the Crochet Crowd of how to crochet double crochet borders, and you can find that on there if you'd like to do that. So today I'm going to concentrate on the texture part of this particular blanket. It's really quite a simple one in order to do. So let's begin. I'm using Caron 1 pound size H 5mm crochet hook, but the pattern does suggest Caron Simply Baby, which you can substitute with Caron Simply Soft using a 6mm size J crochet hook. So you can either chain 103 or you can just change the size, which I'm going to do. So chain 103 or multiples of 4. So just go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then keep on going to 103, or if you want to do it like mine, just go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when you're satisfied with the length, just add another 3. So 1, 2, 3. So that's multiples of 4 plus 3. Let's begin row number 1. So let's begin row number 1. We're going to single crochet second chain from the hook. So just count it back. So 1 and 2, and it's just single crochet into the back loop only, and single crochet yourself all the way across your chain. So it doesn't matter how long that it is, just one single crochet in each of the chains going all the way across. So please do that and see me at the end of this chain. So you're going to get all the way to the end and you're just going to turn your work, and now we're going to start the repeat pattern. So the repeat pattern is rows 2 and 3, and then you repeat rows 2 and 3 over and over again, and you just keep changing color every 2 rows. So to begin row number 2, you're going to chain up 3, and that counts as a half double crochet on the side, just like you see. And it says skip the next single crochet and double crochet into the next 3. So skip the first one and go and double crochet into the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So you have a choice. You have to double crochet into the one that you skipped. That's that one that's leaning over. So what you have to just do is that you have to make a choice. Is it easier to get into the front of this, or is it easier to access from behind? From my experience, it's easier to access from behind, but you can do the front. So let's demonstrate. You choose which one you have to do, but you have to be consistent about it when you're doing this. So you have to make a choice. So wrap the hook. If you want to come in from the front, just lean over and go into the stitch like that. Okay, so just wrap and going into the missing stitch that you skipped and double crochet, and that'll cause it to lean over, and then you can see it on the front side. If you would like to do it from the back side, again, that's up to you, is that you wrap the hook and you just kind of manipulate it and come in from the back and get it from the back side. Pull through 2 and 2. But you cannot see it from this side, but when the afghan's turned around you'll be able to see it. So I would do it if it were me. I find the fronts easier. It's less work to manipulate. So just wrap the hook and coming into the one that you skipped. So make a choice on the way that you're going to access it. So that was one set of repeating patterns. So what we have to do is that we have to skip the next stitch. So we're going to skip the next one and then just double crochet into the next 3. So 1, and then do the next one, 2, and 3. And then you double crochet into the one that you skipped. Again, I'm going to access it from the front side, so just come back and pick it up and just double crochet, and that causes that line to go over, just like you see. So you keep doing that. So skip the next one. So 1, and you're double crocheting into the next 3 after that. So skip the 1, you're double crocheting into the next 3, and then you have to double crochet into the one that you skipped. So just coming back, you know, lean over, and if your counts are right, like I suggested, the 4 plus 3, or if you did the 103, you will end up with 1 stitch left over at the very end, and you'll just double crochet into that one. So you're gonna notice that the tension will have pulled this in, and this creates that texture that you see. So let's move up to row number 3. So row number 3, we're gonna just turn our work, and row number 3 is really quite easy. So we're gonna chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and you're just gonna double crochet into each of the stitches all the way across. So there's no texture work required on this row whenever you do this one. So just double crocheting into each stitch. So you really have one row that you have to think about the texture. The other row, this one, is not thinking at all. It's just double crochet yourself across. So what do we have to do when we get to the other side? Well, we have to change our colors to keep it to the stripe. If you don't wish to change your colors, then don't worry about it. Just keep on going. If you use your Caron Cakes, any kind of yarn like that, you will have the texture color, or you'll have the colors changing on its own. Therefore, you don't need to worry about any loose ends or anything like that. So that's, again, that's your choice on what you'd like to do with your own personal creativity. So you just double crochet yourself all the way across, and you go right into this turning chain. So don't forget that one. And then we're gonna finish this color. So to finish the color, just let it be off to the side. Just trim your work and just pull through the loop, and then just weave it in and out of the few stitches, and you'll capture that in position as you crochet over that in the next two and in the next row. So let's grab another color, and let's start another row. So let's turn our work and get that ready. So you can see on the front side here, you got the texture leaning over, and then you got a row here that's just flat with the double crochet. So let's begin the next color next. So let's begin the next color. It's exactly what you already know here. So it's really quite easy, right? So you're gonna come into the very first one, okay, and you're gonna just attach this with a slip stitch. So just pull through and through, and then you're going to chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So put this down on top of the line, so therefore it gets stuck underneath. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna skip the next one, and you're gonna double crochet into the next 3. You already know how to do this now. So you just double crochet into the next 3, and then you're going to then come back to the one that you skipped. So wrap that hook and come into the one you skipped. Now it looks a little awkward because you're burying yarn at the same time, but it's just a way of doing that so that you don't have to think about that, all that yarn tails at the end. So you're just coming back and just double crocheting on an angle. Okay, so let's continue along. So you skip the next one, double crochet into the next 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then come back to the one that you skipped. And double crochet over on an angle like that. And then skip the next one, and then double crochet in the next 3. So I'm letting that tail fall in behind. Okay, so you can see I still have a turning chain left over, which makes my pattern in balance. So you just keep doing the same thing, going all the way across, which you already know how to do because we've already done it before. And then you just double crochet into the final turning chain, like so. See, so now you see the texture again. So turning your work, so remember this one is just the one that's a break, so chain up 3, and then just 1 double crochet into each, going all the way across. So this pattern is just a repeating of really 2 rows. As you go, you have 1 texture row, you have 1 flat row, which is just double crochet. And if you handle your loose ends fine, like I did with just burying them as you go, you won't have very many tails to deal with. You just have to trim them out because they're already stuck underneath the stitches as you go across. Again, the color changing is subjective to you, so if you want to use your Caron Cakes out there to have the colors without really having to deal with loose ends, you can do that too. Just probably recommend a 5mm or a 5.5mm size H or I for that, and then just keep on going. Don't forget your turning chain, and then at the end of this one here, because I've done 2 rows of this, I just trim it off then, and then I just trace it one more time. So what I'll do for you now is that if you would like to figure out how to do a border, once you have this done, so what you're going to do for a border is that you just need to finish off. So what it's going to be in the corners, you'll have chain 3 and then 4 more double crochets into the corner, double crochet in each stitch, and then just equally space your double crochets along the side edges. On the corners there will always be 5 double crochets. So the chain 3 and the 4 that you put over here equals the 5 double crochets. So on the remaining of the corners you'll just put 5 double crochets into each and just equally space it, and then again you'll do one more row for that as well, and then in that row then there will be 3 double crochets in the very corner instead of 5, and then you'll have a beautiful border to be done like that. So that's a really neat pattern to do. We have different kinds of borders available here on the Crochet Crowd YouTube channel. We have a whole series on different types if you'd like to even experiment with something a little bit further. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. Have a great day and enjoy your new blanket. We'll see you. Bye-bye.